Good day, everyone. My name is Graphics. If you look at the right hand side of the screen, you see a question that we're to solve. And the question states, it says, the following diagram shows a large cylinder connected to three equal diameter outlets. A. Draw the given view. B. Develop the pattern for C. Right? Now, what you do here is, according to the question, said we should draw the given view. So we should reproduce what we have here on this our drawing sheet. So let's do that and see what we have here. Like I always tell you, the first thing you should do is to draw your horizontal axis, X and Y. So if I place it this way, I'll draw my X axis, and also I will draw my Y axis. Hope you can see that. Now after that, we'll start from the diameter at the base here, which is given to be what? 50. So since it's diameter, because of this symbol you're seeing in front of the 50, you're going to take half of it, right? Taking half of it, that will be 50 divided by 2, and we'll be having what? 25. So you measure 25 on your meter rule from 0 to this is what? 25 millimeter, right? That is 2.525 millimeter. 2.5 centimeter is equivalent to 25 millimeter. And I will come to this center here, which is the center my arrow is pointing on the screen. And this will be from here, to the right 25, and to the left 25. Is that again? And I'm going to mark that point. That will be from here to here. Now, meaning that point is what? 50, right? So I'm taking it. So I'm going to take in that point. So if I come from here to this point, this is what we have, right? And the next thing is the height. From this base here downward is given to be from here downward, and that is what? 15. So I will just take my meter rule downward this way, and I will draw from here downward, and I'll also draw from here downward, right? And I'm going to measure what? 15. So if I'm measuring 15 from this point here, from 0, and this is what? 15 here, right? So I can easily mark the other point from this point to this point, right? And I'm going to what? Thicken it. And I'll come here too, I'll thicken it. You can see that? And what we can see here, something like this is drawn here. I can use my French curve to do that, or my hand. Let me just use my hand here. From here, this is coming like this, and going like this. Now let's close it up. As shown in the diagram, you can see, right? Now, from this point upward, from here to this point here, given to be what? 40, right? And I'm going to measure 40 from this point, from 0 to 40. From 0 to what? To 4. that is 40. You can see that, and I'll draw an horizontal line here this way. Is that again? So that is the height from here to here, 40, as you can see from diagram. Then the thickness of the top here, right, is given to be 20. That's the diameter. So what I will do is, since it's diameter, because of the symbol there, I'm going to take my meter rule and I'll measure half of 20, which is 10. That taken, and I'll place it at the center here. I'm going to mark 10 to the left, to the right, and 10 to what? To the left, right? And I'm going to just connect front line first from this point straight down to this point, and from this point straight down to this point, right? And you can see from the diagram the height, right? Let me take it up so you can see what I'm talking about. So the height is given to be from here to here, that is what, 15, right? So I'm going to measure 15 from this point upward again. So from here, I'll measure 15 upward, from 0 to 15. And I'm going to draw an horizontal line to pass through those points this way. Hope you can see that. Let me take it back. Now, I will now move this to go up and touch that line, right? You can thicken it from here to here to this point, and from here to here to this point. So again, and I can do the same thing here too. From this point, I'm having this to this, and I can close it up, right? Now, if you look closely, the two figure at the side of it are separated 10 millimeter apart. So what I will simply do is, from this point, right, from this end, where my arrow is pointing to this end is 10, and also from this end, where my arrow is pointing to this end, another 10. Is that okay? And they are all on the same plane, this plane you're seeing, right? And I'll bring it down. This will come here. I can thicken it, right? And this will come here. I can also thicken it. Now the thickness, right, is given to be 20 also, mean that the thickness here is equal to thickness here. So instead of me measuring, I can just take the thickness from this point to this point, which is 20, right? And I'll come here, I'll mark 20. I'll come here also from this point, I'll mark 20. So this is what we have, and I am going to now thicken it to this point. I'll come here also, I'll do the same thing, this point to this point, I'll thicken it. Hope you can see that. So once I've done that, right, I can decide to do the same thing I did up here, the same center, don't forget that. We know from here to this point is 10, then I'll come from here to, this is 10, I'll come from here to, this is what, 10, right? So I will just do the needful. This will come to this point here, I'll close it up. This will come to this point here, I'll close it up, right? And what I'll do is, From this point, right, to the end point here is connected, as you can see. From this point to the end point here is connected, as you can see. So now I'll just stop here, I'll take in here, and the rest will be faint line. This also, I'll come here, I'll take in from here to here. The rest will be the way it is. Then here also, from this end to this end, I'll take in from to here. The rest is what faint line. Then from this end, I'll take in from here to here. You can see that. Hope you can see that. Now, this is what we have. So let me draw my center line. I will explain this further to you. Another center line here. Then another center line here. You can see that. Now, what the question is telling us, this is the figure that we have reproduced, right? You'll be surprised. This is the actual figure. Is that the king? It says that what? Diagram shows a large cylinder connected to 3 equal diameter outlets. So this bigger cylinder of 50 millimeter is connected to this outlet. So if it is a fuel or water, it is flowing through this point here, right? And it is going out through all these pipes we have here. Altogether, all these things means they are attached somewhere. So from here, if you look at the diagram, you see some funny things like some lines you see there, right? So making you understand that, and I can form different diagrams from this. First of all, if I should extend this faint line, you can see this, and if I extend this also faint line, what do you notice? They are touching here. Let me call here to be G, the apex point here. So what do you notice? It is forming a triangle. Exactly. That is why they are using more of a line, a center line, or better still, I can use an hidden line. So it depends on what you are trying to do, right? Here also, if I complete this, I'll be having a hidden line. So it depends on what they are compelling to do. So what they're actually doing, they are giving out more of a center line, like this to this, then this another one, center line, then the rest just coming here, and this also from here just coming here. Right, so I'll call it, this is G, and let me call it to be what? P. GP, the apex point here. What do you notice? We're not told that this also is taken here. Let me take in here. So if I should complete this, what do you notice? I'll call it to be A. Let's say gap, right? So G, A, P. Are we together now? So we have 3 different triangles that makes up this given figure here. The first triangle will giving us triangle A, right? So if I call here to be my point, let's say yes is 6 and here is what? 0. So 60G is one triangle. 60P is another triangle. 60A is another triangle. So we have three different triangles. This is ABC. ABC, right? ABC. So now we are not told from the question, since we reproduced the figure here, we are not told from the question that we should what? Develop the pattern of C, right? That means we develop this triangle pattern of what? Of C here. And if you can look this properly, we are considering triangle what? C0P. Are we together now? And that is an oblique what? An oblique cone. So we're going to use our knowledge in developing cone that are oblique, right, in order to get the development of this figure C. So what is the first thing you are going to do? I will just develop it from here, right? Is that you can extend this baseline here, right? Or you can just bring out the cone on your own if you want to. After extending that baseline, you bring out from the point P here you have here, you bring it down. Hope you can see that. And they are meeting at this point here. Let me call it arrow. They are meeting at what? At point arrow here. Is that taken? So point P here is meeting at what? Point arrow here. So let's move forward. Now the next step you will now do is that you are going to draw a semicircle at this point here. Let's see, this is our baseline here, from here to here, right? This is where they are meeting. I'm talking about this line. Let's assume this is from this point to this point. You get the center point here. That's what I want to do. And you place your compass at this point to this point, and you draw a semicircle. Is that taken? Right? So with the same measurement you use to draw the semicircle, you come to this end, you strike an arc, you come also to this end, you strike another arc, you come to the midpoint here, you strike an arc in this direction. Can you see that? So we've gotten all these points, then you generate them towards the what? The center. So from here, I'll generate this towards the center here, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. Hope you can see that. And I'll say this is 0, so here will be 0, this will be 1, this will be 2, here will be 3, we have 4, 5, here is 6, and here is also what? 6, right? So the next thing is I'm going to project this point to hit the base of the cone here, right? Because this is the cone here. So I'm going to bring it down. So 1 will go up. 2 will go up. 3 is already there. We have 4 coming up. We have 5 coming up. Hope you can see that. So this is 0. Here will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then what? 6. Now you know the concept of a cone. all the points at the base will go towards the apex point. So I'm going to generate each of those points to go towards the apex point this way. So from 5 to P, from 4 to P, from 3 to P, from 2 to P, from 1 to P. Hope you can see that. They are all going towards the center of what? Of P. So the next thing you do is you can elongate here this way, this point here, just elongate it this way. You can see that. So once you've done that, now this is your point arrow. Here also be what? Point arrow. Right? So from arrow, you take your compass to this point, right? To 0. You get this point. You come to this point 1. You get this point. You come to point 2. You get this point. You come to point 3. You get this point. You come to point 4. Get this point. You come to 5. You get this. Then you come to 6. And you get this. So what it means, then from all these points you see here, can you see those points on that horizontal line? You project them upward. So from here, you move this point up this way, 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 and up this way, right? So if this is 6, so 6 will be, this will be 6 prime, 5 prime, 4 prime, 3 prime, 2 prime, this will be 1 prime, and this will be what? 0 prime. So here will be what? 1 prime, right? So just correlating with what we have here. Now what you now do next, since you move each of these points to the apex point P, you move each of these points from here to the apex point P. Right? You can see that. So the next thing we've done now is that have it in mind that all these points here is covered. All these points here is covered. So meaning that here too is covered. So if I elongate it this way, it means all these places are on the same point. You can see that. So let's see what is going to happen after you've done this. So the next thing that we're going to be doing here is for we to draw out what? The development of it. So now I can pick it up from anywhere, right? So at any given point, I'll just draw a line, right? Let's see, I'm picking it from here, and I'll draw a vertical line this way. So I'll pick from that top of the line, probably here. I'll make it to be my point what? P, because here is P. That representing my apex point. Now, if I move my compass, right? If I move my compass from P, right, to 6 here, can you see that? I will come from P here and I'll mark here. So this point I mark is what? My 6 prime. Just like this. All together. Now, there is a demarcation here, right? Which is at this point here. And that is on the line of 6. So I'll place my compass from still P to that point on the line of 6. Right? I will come to P here and I'm going to mark. So that will be, I'll call it point, let me just call it that will be another point here. Let me say point A, if this is A, if I want to. Right? Similarly, I will take the measurement from these 2 points here, either 0 and 1 or 1 and 2, any of the 2 points I have here, and I'll come to point 6 and I'm going to mark left and right. So left and what? And right. Can you see that? Then I will now come from P to what? The next point, 5. Can you see that? And I will come to P here and I'll cut those arc, left and right. So this point where they meet, these 2 points will be my point 5 prime and my point 5 prime. Can you see that? And I will draw my line from those 2 points this way. So from P to 5 and from P to 5 also. Hope you can see that. Then I'll come again to the other point of 5 from P to B. That is the next line, B. Right? And I'll place it on P and I'll mark on the line of 5 here and here because that point B is on both of the line. So let me just call it to be what? B and B, which is not necessary. So the next point is what? B. Right? Then I'll come again, take the measurement of 1 and 0 again. I will come to 5. I'm going to mark left, right? Are you with me? Left. And I'll mark on 5 again. I'll mark right. Right? So I will now come to P to 4. And I'll place it on P. I will mark on the line of to get point 4, that arc, to bisect it. This will be 4 prime. And here also will be what? 4 prime. Then I'll draw my line to those points. From P to this. And from P to this. Right? So I'm going to place my compass on the line of 4 from P to the line of 4. This is the line of 4. Then I'll mark another one here. That will give us point C. Then I'll come on P. I'll mark on that line. That will give us what? Point C. Right? I'll come again, take the measurement 0 and 1. I'll come to the line of 4, this point. I'll mark to the left. And I'll come here and I'll mark to the right. Right? So I'll come from 0 to 3 now. So I'll place it on the point of P and I'll mark 3 here and 3 here. So that will be my point 3. So this will be 3 prime and here will be what? 3 prime. So I'll draw my line to come across P from this point. On my line P to come at this point. Right? So So when I place it from P to the line of what? 3, right? So at this point here, that'll give us D. So I'll come here and mark 0 on the line of 3 this way, and that'll give us point D, right? Then I'll come again, take the measurement of 0 and 1. I'll come to the line of 3, point of 3. I'm going to mark another point here on point of 3, right? Then I'll move to 2 from P to what? To 2. You can see that. Then I'll come to P and I'll mark point 2 here and this. So where they meet, that'll give me 2 prime and what? 2 prime. Then I will join P to 2. Also join P to 2. You can see that. Then on the line of 2, I'll get this point here, point F, point E. So I'll place it here and I'll mark here and I'll mark here. That will be my point E, right? Then I'll come again, take the measurement of 0 on this. I'll come to 2, I'll mark this here, and I'll also come to 2 here, I'll mark this here. So from 2 to 1 now, because the next point is 1, right? And I'll come to P and I'll mark on that arc. That will be my point 1. 1 prime, 1 prime. Then I'll join 1 and P together. I'm going to join 1 and P together. Then I'll come again on the line of 1 from P to this demarcation here, line of 1, right? And I'll come to this point. I'll mark on the line of 1 here and here. So this point will be F, which is not, all this lettering is not necessary. F and F. Then the last but not the least, to get point 0 from 0 to 1, right? I'll come to 1, I'm going to mark this. I'll come to 1 also, I'm going to mark this. Then I'll move from 0 to what? To 1. To 0, sorry. Right? And I'll come on the point of P, and I'll cut here, and I'll cut here to get my point what? My point 0 prime. Point 0 prime. Are we good now? Then I'm going to join it with my rule. Now join it also with my rule. Right? Then I'll get the line of what? Of P. So I'll come here to get this point and this point. Can you see that? So I'm going to use my French curve and I will join all those points together. So let's do that and see. So this, what I'm about to do now, will now be the development of the figure, right? That will be the development of the figure. come here too. I'll do the same thing from here to here. Then here. Right? And I'll do the same. Just use my hand. I can connect this way. Now I'll join this point to this point. Join this point to this point. Right? So this is the development of that part here, and it's a cone, right? And if you want to get to understand more about this, you can click on this link here, or you check on the comment section. You see different video on how to what, how to develop what, an oblique cone. Is that okay now? And you see also how to develop a normal cone, which I've saw some of the videos on this, right? So if you have found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video. Thanks for watching.